International Women's Day 2024. Invest in women. Accelerate progress. Necessity is what propelled this woman into what is now a family business. How did you become involved in the agro-processing business?
Well, I got into agro-processing by accident, actually. The story is we had a second baby and we bought our second car. And we were so excited about buying another car that we didn't cater for gas. So my husband decided that he was going to do some preserves and peanuts and that sort of thing to help with gas money for the second car. And that spilled over into what it is today. After about a year or so, he said, listen, you take this and run with it. And that is how I got into agro-processing. It wasn't really out of, say, talent or desire or anything. My husband just said, here, well, take this and go with it, and that was it.
Tell us about your company.
Well, Smart Foods Caribbean, we started in 2008 unofficially with this peanuts, that sort of thing, and then we formalized the business in 2012. So we have been around then. Basically what we do, we have changed over time. First we were known as the nuts people, and then we moved into hot sauces. So a lot of people will know me in hot sauce business. And now we have kind of pivoted into providing services and products that cater for B2B businesses. So we provide pulps, we provide products that companies would like, but they don't like it, you know. Say for example, you want to get like a tomato sauce done, but the tomato sauce on the market has too much salt or too much sugar. We could customize a tomato sauce directly for that company as well. So if they want certain things like, say, a garlic sauce or that kind of thing. So we're doing that type of B2B business and supplying bakeries, restaurants, supermarkets, and that sort of thing.
What were some of the challenges you've had running this company?
Business and challenges, I think, go hand in hand, right? But for us being a female-led company, I think one of our major challenges were trust. Trust from the banks, the even supermarkets, you know, when they see a female person come to represent the business, you have this kind of hesitation. I'm not sure why, but you have that kind of lack of trust in the space. So that was one of the major obstacles I had to overcome, especially very early in the business. If my husband goes, he gets through. If I go, there's another thing. We're still trying to figure out where's the dynamics about that. But I think industry trust is one of the obstacles that we had to overcome.
What are some of your highlights and successes?
Successes, surviving. Surviving COVID. Surviving COVID was a big thing. For us, we were closed for a long time, and we had rent, we had all sorts of things that were piling, and we were very happy that COVID ended and we got the opportunity to stay in business. A lot of my counterparts are not in business after COVID, so surviving. And last year we made an investment into a larger space because we wanted to get into certification. We want to get certification for the products that we make and that sort of thing. And 3 months into it, after we did the renovations on the space, the landlord terminated the lease and put us out of business for 5 months. So just for me to be sitting here talking to you and in business after that, survival is our number one highlight. I mean, we could say things like, oh, we went to New York Fancy Food Show, we export, we do all of those things. But I think in our context today, surviving and being still in business, having employees, having products out on the market is one of the biggest highlights.
How do you think we can invest in women to accelerate their progress?
Mentorship, but let me clarify what I mean by mentorship. We have a number of mentoring programs around the country right now, and while they work to a point, they work to get you to to have the business up and running. But I have very rarely seen mentorship programs that facilitate growth, and if you do have those, it's being monitored by or applied by technocrats. And that in itself is a challenge. For women to grow in this business, we need people who have done it before to hold our hands and say, this is how you grow the business. And not from a theoretical position, but from an actual, active, daily thing. Somebody who has done it. How do you navigate and negotiate credit? How do you negotiate contracts? How do you negotiate things like shipping and logistics? It only takes somebody who have been there and done that to hold your hand through the process and to allow you to meet people who they have met and help you along this journey. I think a lot of people think that having the theoretic knowledge is good, but it does not in most times meet reality. You have done, I have a degree in management and a special too, which means all my courses are management, but yet I had problems navigating a small business because you take the theory and you apply it and you realize that it doesn't work. It doesn't talk to you about the temperaments of people. If you go to an office to try to get something done, how do you navigate that relationship in order for your business to succeed? Who do you talk to? The contacts that you make, all of these things. And I think for women businesses to grow, we need people to come alongside us, hold our hands and say, let me take you on the journey that I have been on. And I think that will go a long way for us in helping us to develop and helping us to grow from subsistence business to micro, to small, and then to large.
Do you think it is important to celebrate International Women's Day annually?
Of course. Of course. I think as women, we need to pause to celebrate that we can do great things. I mean, we know that we can do great things, but great things in business, we need to pause and celebrate. Because I'm not bashing men, but because male support is, I have male support. I have a 3-prong leg, and I'm the only female, and the other 2 are male who support me, right? But when, as a woman, it's different from being a woman in business is different from a man in business. If a man is in business, the wife holds down the fort. A woman in business have to be in business and still come home and hold down the fort. You still have to do homework. You still have to wash. You still have to cook. You still have to think about grocery. You still have to do all of these things while you run your business. And I think International Women's Day is an opportunity for women to stop and celebrate our wins. Celebrate that, listen, we're doing this thing, It may not be the way that we want to sometimes, or sometimes it may be, but we need to stop and celebrate us and celebrate the achievements, because we work in 24/7, right? You work in the business and then you go home and you work. And if you're married, well, that's a next story. So we need to stop and celebrate, even if it's once a year. Listen, we're doing this.
Invest in women. Accelerate progress. The Office of the Parliament celebrates International Women's Day 2024.